A typical Friday or Saturday night is very busy here in Reading. We can have anything from sort of 12 to 25,000 people come into the town centre. It can be rather eventful. We can have a number of incidents occur, from public order incidents to incidents involving health and safety and people needing care and attention from ambulances, things like that.
Okay. Because normally street pastors kind of come out on a Friday and Saturday night into town between like 10 and 3 o'clock and just make sure people enjoying themselves and having a fun time.
So have you ladies been tonight then, celebrating?
Are you celebrating tonight then?
When is the celebrating night?
To me, the street pastors offered basically an opportunity for someone to come into the town to be able to provide a service that at the moment the police were providing, but actually that might be able to help us and alleviate some of the strain that we have, so we can deal with the issues that we really need to be dealing with, and hopefully that the implementation of the scheme would mean that we could form a working partnership and they could help those people that need the help and leave us free to continue what we need to be doing.
It's frontline evangelism without preaching. You're actually witnessing about God and his love for people without handing out tracts. And that's what we're doing. We're out in the streets to care for people, and that was a new thing for me, and I thought, wow, I have got to get involved in this. The way people have treated us on the streets has been amazing. The welcome has been phenomenal. So yeah, we're looking out primarily for vulnerable people. Most of the time that does tend to be women who have drunk quite a lot and for whatever reason have found themselves alone. They've maybe lost their friends in bars and clubs, and when we see them sat by themselves, it's great to be able to go up to them and say, are you okay? How are you getting home? Can we walk you to a taxi? Or, you know, just making sure they're okay.
We wanted to be a partnership with the town centre. We wanted the police and the door staff and the landlords, because if we don't have their support, then there's no point going out. And yeah, there was a lot of scepticism beforehand from the door staff, and very kind of straight face when we kind of walked up to them. But now it's kind of all smiles and handshakes, and it's wonderful. It's brilliant. Yeah, and getting to know the rough sleepers of the town as well. It's a handful of guys who kind of beg throughout the night, and so we kind of sometimes buy them a cup of tea and chat and sit with them and just listen to them, really.
And there's the taxi marshals, chatting with them, finding out how their night's going. There's all the door staff, greeting them, chatting to them, and then the Reading station just around the corner. Wherever there's people, we're there, basically.
We've had conversations with people just recently returned back from Afghanistan, young guys, 18, 19-year-olds who've been out in Afghanistan for 6 months. And just some of the stories we hear back from them is just heart-rending, really. There's no way for them to kind of process what they've been through. And so I've had a few chats with squaddies who's just returned the day before and not told their family and just come out to town to kind of forget what they've been through. So there's that, and then we've had people come up to us and talk about their bereavements. People who, family members who have died recently.
Frank Glover, our Officer Safety Officer, runs through tactics with the street pastors and how to sort of get away from conflict and manage what they do safely. And another thing we look at is the training for the radios. We work in partnership with George Frill from the RBC. We go through the procedures and processes of how to use the radios and the call signs and what we need to do with that so that they are fully linked up to the CCTV system and the door staff and police officers in the town centre.
The council want us to patrol other estates around town, do earlier shifts, cover the Forbury area, do Reading Rock Festival. It's fantastic how it has grown. It's mainly down to churches in Reading being quite united already. Yeah, we got old people. I've got a 76-year-old.
Can't say that.
I'm 76.
Okay.
Don't be offended. And our youngest, I think, is 25. So all walks of life. Mums, single mums, couples. A variety of ethnic backgrounds.
I think that's been fantastic. Different churches, different backgrounds, all working together.
22 different churches involved, from Pentecostal to Methodist, Baptist, Church of England.
I think the other thing to mention is street pastors, what we do is very much frontline out on the streets. But what we mustn't forget is we've got street pastors who actually are prayer pastors. So they don't come out on the streets, but they're actually praying for us, who will come out and meet in the church just down the road here, and they are praying all that time while we're walking the streets, they are praying. So people who might think, oh, I couldn't possibly walk the streets and talk to people, well, there are other things that you could do. You could pray for us.
And the feedback that I get from members of the public has been nothing but positive. The number of interactions that are happening between members of the public and the street pastors is innumerable, and I've seen the figures produced by the pastors. So they're really having an impact that way. I've also got quite a lot of feedback from police officers on the streets who we've informed about the pastor scheme, and again, nothing but positive and more praise has been heaped upon them through that. And the biggest thing for me as well is the door supervisors. I run a door watch scheme for our door supervisors, and we've promoted the pastor scheme to them in its implementation and encouraged them to actually work with the street pastors on incidents and issues that they have with people that have been in their venue or will need care and attention outside. And they've been really responsive and positive to a point now where they do call up the street pastors themselves and make contact and initiate that off their own back. So everything that I've seen has been excellent, and we're now up to, I think, 50 street pastors and looking at making that even larger, so 70 possible street pastors, I think, by October. So I think that's kind of testimony to the popularity and the benefits that we've seen from it, that it's growing so quickly.